No, you're not the only one with this struggle. There's men everywhere that are struggling with this. And never have we lived in a time where it's been so accessible and there's so many attacks being launched at us everywhere we go, everywhere we look. And I want to hear about what you're doing and how you help men right now, and how this has turned from, a task to a testimony to now a mission.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's so it is rebuilt recovery. You say reboot recovery a lot, and I'm not here to
Oh, I'm
correct you,
sorry. My,
but
my bad.
no, and you're right. It's 100% not a isolated incident. It's not actually even a minority problem. If you look at the statistics, it is a majority of the men are struggling with this. I know we're speaking to a Christian audience here. Pure statistics here, not my numbers that I'm pulling out of nowhere. Look at Barta Research 2019. 70% of Christian men that attend church regularly admit to having a problem with this. 57% of pastors admit to having a problem with it. 64% of youth pastors admit to having a problem with it. And only 7% of churches have a program or solution that is helping men out of it. So I see it as probably one of the biggest problems facing men, facing Christian men, facing marriages, and really the entire world. So the next few months, man, was life changing, right? Like I said, I didn't know what it was going to lead me to, but I knew something was going to come out of this that was going to be bigger and beyond anything that I'd ever done in my life. And it didn't just go, I quit porn, I launched a company, now I help men. Like there was a journey and process that led me through that. But I think one of the biggest things that helped me was not feeling shame. I think the conversation with Zach really opened up my eyes to like, okay, there are other men out there, and there are open men that are open to having this conversation. The support that I heard from you after that first conversation showed me like, okay, like I can count on these men that have been there for me. Like they're not going to judge me through this. So I took the next couple of weeks and months to really share it with everybody. I don't know why I felt this way, but I felt like everybody needs to know. Like I almost looked forward to this conversation because like every time I opened up, for one, like I would learn more about myself. Like I was kind of putting myself through like self-therapy moments, but it also, every conversation made things feel lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. You talked about in Orlando, like how I even looked lighter. Every time I opened up with somebody, it's like the guilt and shame just got lighter and lighter and lighter. So much to the point where it's like flying around the world, like looking for people to have this conversation with, literally like setting up Zoom calls. Like, dude, I got to tell you something. And like, okay. And then I get on there and they're like, had a porn addiction for like 20 years. And they're like, whoa, I didn't think, but it was so amazing because every guy that I shared it with, like, I'm not bragging about my friends, or I'm not bragging about the networking relationships that I have, but I'm connected with some high level men, like guys that are building massive companies, guys that are having massive impact in the world, guys that are doctors, CEOs, lawyers, like you name it, like these guys are my friends. So when I opened up to them, they're like, yeah, me too. And it was like, okay, I'm actually not a bad person. I made some bad choices, but I'm not a bad person. I think that's the differentiating point between shame and guilt. Shame says you're a bad person. Guilt is you did something bad. So I was removing myself out of the shame, but it was only done through openly discussing what I was going through and having other men say, you know what, this is okay. And as I'm doing this, like my friends now, once again, yourself, Dr. Ron, Mike, they're like, Frank, this is going to lead you to something way bigger. Like you guys kept reinforcing how powerful this story was, how powerful this testimony is. I don't think I ever felt that. I felt like I was just another guy. Like, once again, I try not to put too much weight on the things that I do anymore. I struggled with that a lot, like too much pride, too much ego. So for me, I just felt like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. But hearing the feedback, like from everybody, like, Frank, this is powerful. Frank, you need to get this out there. Frank, this is going to lead you to something greater. I said, okay, maybe there is an opportunity for me to share this.